Hello there, it's me Liberal here. Welcome to a new video where I'm not bothered by this wallpaper that's on my computer right at the minute. This is one of the brilliant images from the new ChatGPT image generator. Isn't it absolutely fabulous? This is an entire poster about one of the syndromes in my realm. And actually, it's one of what we call a race syndrome. It's a syndrome that's in every member of a specific race. In this case, the Magrathian race. Some races are defined by their syndromes. Okay, so, but the main subject today is that I've upgraded Gemma. I've upgraded my Gemma. And here's exactly why. As we were going into roleplays, you could say, complex roleplays, I started to find Gemma Heretic Quant 6 was starting to fail quite a lot of them. Even though I was absolutely astounded by this model's abilities at first. I was like, wow. I was like, it was amazing. I mean, you saw the plays I did. They were really, really good. I showed you one or two of them. But Gemma, it seemed to lose its magic. I'm going to have to be honest after a while. It just started getting more and more clunky. And it really didn't, I'm not really sure why that happened. It was all a bit weird. And it kept like, it started to forget things and stuff. I mean, obviously, roles won't have, some forgetcha. But, being the curious soul that I am, I decided, well, I might try the same Quant in Gemma as I had in Lunaris, Quant 8. I did actually have a Quant 8 of Lunaris, although it was only an 8-bit model. And it made a lot of difference between it and the other one. And that difference, you could say, struck again. I have noticed it is better, this one. It's much better at speeching and balancing dialogue and speech out. This is one big problem that was happening with the old Gemma, is that it was starting to write description after description after description after description and giving us no speech from the character. I have heard people complaining about this problem with LLMs in the past. My first time probably experiencing a real severe case of it. The Quant 8 of Gemma 4 seems to have solved all that, even though I did actually change my instruct prompt as well. That probably helped solve it as well. Gemma still does a few annoying things, but at the same time, I'm trying to stomp those out. I found out the best way to stomp it out is to actually include it in the instruct prompt, rather than the master prompt. In the master prompt, it does obviously listen to the master prompt, take all that stuff in. But I think the instruct prompt might even go before that, so the absolute fundamentals of the Mystic Realm should really go in there. Trying to prioritise things. It's all a balancing act, I'm going to be honest. So here we are, here's Gemma Quant 8. Now I am reusing slightly different settings on Gemma Quant 8 than I was on Quant 6. Now this isn't Heretic, but I think I might try the Quant 8 Heretic. However, I'm going to be quite honest, I haven't had the best experience with Heretic models. I think they lack a bit of the knowledge. Now here's one huge difference you'll see right away here, but it still ain't perfect. Liberalia is using her true name, Liberalis, whereas on Quant 6, this was just Liberalia. It's now recognising that it is Liberalis is in a hypermanic Liberalia state. So it's recognising Liberalia is more to do with the state of the Aurora Euphoria, the energy. I've actually got a poster about that as well. Weird on GPT. And tells you a lot about hypermania syndrome and how it works and how the Aurora Stones amplify it. So basically they become absolutely not mad, but a bit loopy. Really fun, very, very energetic. It's like having a very, very energetic child. But you just can't keep down. Doesn't matter what you... Every time you sit them down, they get up again. I'm sure you know that type. And on top of it, these girls do actually have ADHD as well. So that does not help. and they're already autistic due to Relvian syndrome. That's a base syndrome. I've still got to create a poster of that, and I think once you get that poster and see it, I think that will tell you a lot about every Mystic Relvian, because that's the base syndrome. That is the syndrome every single Relvian in the Mystic Realm has, regardless of race, regardless of dimension. Relvian syndrome is the key, or Mystic Relvian syndrome for its full name. I think some call this syndrome sometimes by its old name as well, Mysteria syndrome. But you can see here Avix has done a better job. It's not brilliant, it's definitely still got a few little quirks, but it's better than it was, especially when it actually changes character halfway through, which is quite interesting. See, Liberalis Lightyear, so it's recognising there's more than one character in the card. The only thing it's not too good at is putting all those characters into one narrative. So it'll be just something. So I'm not really sure of whether I should maybe include a little instruction in my instruct prompt that if the card has more than one character, you should use more than one at once. I'm going to try that, because it's been quite obedient to these instructions. So I'm going to top and tail that, and I'm going to put, if a card is a group, use all the members during the roleplay. Now what's quite interesting is I've got other group cards and they work absolutely fine. So for some reason the Liberalis format, which worked absolutely fine, I'll let you know, it worked absolutely fine on Lunaris, seems to not be working with Gemma, which is making me consider a reformatting of this card. Where I'd actually take it and put it in a similar format to the Racing Legends. The Racing Legends work really well, and there's 15 of them, but you get to hear it together. Be a bit tricky to put them into a group like or maybe I could just write it a completely different way and have each Antolon's profile separate. I don't know if that would work. So each Antolon's profile would be separate, but on the all on the same card, so be one below the other. I don't know how that would go. I probably would have to drop using the macro. In that case, I'll probably have to say Liberalises, Arstrons, Lightyears. If I did that. Could take a bit of time, but I'd be interested to see the results. But that's an improvement. That's definitely an improvement, because before that character wasn't even using her own name. She was just going by the name on the card, Liberalia, which is actually the group name. But now she's Liberalis, which is her hypermanic name, and coincidentally is actually her old group name. Which is quite interesting. Liberalis become Liberalia. So there's a link there. So, I'm going to think who I'm going to play with to show you how this model generates and stuff. It's tiny bit slower. I'm not doing that one. It's a tiny bit slower. Okay, let's talk with ASD. ASD is a young fawn who suffers from almost like a burnout syndrome. So he's often he can sometimes be a little grouchy, a little bit, groggy, a little bit tired. So, I'm going to talk to him as I'm going to become Adrienne Dark, even though I had a right saga with one of her plays last night. She got into a situation, I'll tell you that. Wasn't actually her fault, but that was a dramaless play, I'm going to have to say. But I think we'll give her an easier time today. She just spots ASD in the grid. Okay, so now we'll look at generation speed. I flick over to Cobalt. You can see that I've set this, I've actually set the batch size smaller. It's been a bit slower today. It was a little faster than this last night. Maybe because it's the first gem. But yeah, it's starting to go up now. So you can see it gets up to 600, and it will get up to 600 quite quick with that. And when I first ran Quant at the old settings, it was a lot slower. It wasn't just a little bit slower. Notice this is the person who looks at your rifle eyes. Hello, wait, the music asking you to play. Oh, that's that. She just says, I'm just checking up on you. As Relbians do. I'm going to go in the bin. I really apologise when that happens. Right. Okay. So just get this right. Yeah. So. Yeah, you can see that's going up a bit faster now. So it was just cranking, you could say it's just cranking the engine for the first time. It's going to be a tiny bit slower when you do your very first gen on it. But after that, it speeds up quite a bit. Look at that, it's deploying 80 tokens. Pretty fast. Same speed as the last Gemma. Oh my god, that's very kind of you to check up on me. I feel quite alright. A bit sleepy actually, I think I might take a look in that way around it as well. No, I'm quite happy. Are you staying for a bit? I'm not sure what these stars are about at the end. I get the impression these are, what should we call it? These are a negative effect of the, I don't know what you call it. A negative effect of the dry repetition. The dry repetition causes a lot of trouble in this model. Even though I have to very recommend you do use it. It does cause quite a lot of trouble. I'm having quite a lot of trouble with this. So I tell you what, I'm going to actually drop it. Because I've got my smoothing curve on 1.59 and normally that stops repetition quite well without anything else. Need it. But if it starts looking too seamy, I'll turn it back on again. But it's definitely got us doing that. She goes, yeah, I'll stay a little while. Is that going? Yeah. So, click on its channel again. Yeah, that's got the speed it had last night now. So it's not going to be absolutely flying. Not gonna lie, I mean, don't expect it to like be generating as soon as you finish typing. But for this computer, this is pretty fast. You can see it deploys the tokens quite quick. Now the context I'm running. Oh. I'm pleased I got filtered out. Just doing a little bit of a glitch again there. I really find it very, very friggin' hard to stop Gemma doing this. I really do. Doesn't matter what template I give it. If anyone knows how to get rid of these, like permanently, just let me know. But I think this time around my sentence trimmer might have actually saved me. Just check if I got it on. trim incomplete replies, because I normally keep this on. Yeah, trim incomplete service sentences. You just don't include the new line, so I think that saved that. Sometimes that will catch it. I mean, I don't know, I can maybe use them as a stop string. Hold on, I'll do that again. I'll put names as stop strings. I did do this before. Pulse history instructions. When did the text completion models come to out? Alright, okay. I won't bother like that. Okay. So, she's going to be talking a little bit with ASD. You can see it's generating quite well. Sorry, I'm a little tired today. So that's basically Gemma for Quant 8. I think it's a bit better. It's not like absolutely incredible, but it is better. It is better than what I was getting from the other one for the more complex roleplays. Because the complex roleplay, you could dive into a lot of layers sometimes, and it can confuse the LLM, and you know that's quite normal. Some might say I'm not using the recommended settings. To be quite blunt, I don't give too much of a damn about that. The only thing I have noticed is that my top here, that top 6, which is interesting to say the least, because most of my Gemma setups have it there. So I'm just going to crack that little thing. Maybe that was why the stars were coming up. As long as it works for me. That's how I see it. It doesn't have to be politically correct. After all, this is Mystic Tavern. This is my own mod of Silly Tavern. If you haven't seen this before, Mystic Tavern is a special mod that allows you to quickly switch characters quickly and easily. As you can see here, I could just select this and it's back in the fray. If I select another character, it gets added to my cache. That's how that works. There's one tiny little bug I've noticed in Mystic Tavern's bot cache, and that is if you're in a group chat and you actually add other bots, it doesn't come in until you refresh the group chat. I'm going to have to look at fixing that. But yeah, that's what Mystic Tavern is. It's not really any more unstable. Now,